Good morning. We're going to do a little bit of a form analysis lesson this morning, and I'm using the GTX system developer. So there are the races, but first of all we're going to go and have a look at the system developer. And I've already run this system, and basically what I'm doing, I'm looking at our top two ranked rated runners for Metropolitan Victoria, so only races at the Melbourne Metropolitan area. And I'm looking at horses who had their last run in a Metropolitan race, and I've analysed it by the state it ran in last start. So, looking at the form, we can see the race strike rate is fairly low. That's because it doesn't include horses where the qualifying run were at a provincial or country track. It only includes those that had a Metropolitan start last. Now, in New South Wales, we can see that we had 15% winners from the 170 races where the last run was at a Metropolitan New South Wales track. New Zealand just 2. Queensland 1 winner from 23, a strike rate of 4%. South Australia 11 wins from 128 races, that's only 8%, and 0 from 1 from Tasmania. So from Victoria we got 16%, from New South Wales we got 15%, so it's clear to see that these are the best two areas to judge from. So what we can do, we can go to the form. We're looking at the very last start, and what we're going to do, we're only going to include runners from New South Wales and Victoria. So we've got the two best racing states there, and when I click refine here, it'll quickly go through it, and we'll see here that we've now maintained the same strike rate, but we've only lost 6.9%. Now with New South Wales you can see we're losing 29%, and one of the reasons for that is that when horses are going interstate, only the best qualified runners are usually sent down there, and that's the reason why. Whereas we've got our local horses still form the bulk of the selections, and there we are. Now we can have a look at this one further area. So what we've got here, we can have a look at the W here means win form. We can actually have a look at the win form qualifying run and analyse by the state that the win form qualifying run was in, and also we're going to restrict it to horses that were racing in the Metropolitan area. Okay. Alright, so when we refine this again, it's going to go back and have a look at that. And we can see that in this instance, it does include horses from other states, none from New Zealand, 8% Queensland, 11% South Australia, so that's in keeping with the others, 17% Victoria, 16% in New South Wales. So once again, if we now go down here and click on state, and click on there and say, okay, let's only look at New South Wales and Victoria. Okie doke. And we can refine that. And now let's have a look at what the figures show us. So now all of a sudden, the race strike rate hasn't changed. But what's happened now is that our profit is only a loss of 1.7%. And that's without putting in any other details. For example, we can now go in and we can say, let's have a look at the track they performed at their qualifying run, and we analyse this. And there it goes. You can see how quickly it goes through. This is all the form from January 2014 to the 30th of November 2015. So you can see here now, looking at the tracks, we had a reasonable strike rate from Caulfield, but a poor profit. We only had one winner from 11 on horses that qualified at Canterbury, and that's a reasonable thing to say. Canterbury is one of the lesser tracks in the Sydney metropolitan area, and all the other tracks, as you can see, that we've got here are all a reasonable strike rate. There are only 49 runners that qualified from Rosehill, for only 6 winners, but it's too small a sample, if you like, to be definitive. So we can't really take Rosehill out. Okay, and of all the other tracks, we can see where they're coming from. We had a big loss on horses that qualified at the Flemington track, and a loss of the horses that qualified from the Caulfield track. And that's possibly because those runners would be more familiar and they're overbet. Now the last thing we're going to do, we're going to look at the very last start that the horses had and analyse by the track at their last start. When we run this one through, it'll be interesting to see how it stacks up. Okie doke. Here we are, last start at Canterbury. Well, there was 1 from 3, so that's not bad. We're still losing with the horses that qualified from Caulfield and Flemington. Moonee Valley we're still doing well. And when we look at Randwick, that's up there at the 16%. Rosehill is the 18%. Still losing, but once again, only 38 races there. And we're getting good results from horses that last qualified at Sandown, Hillside or Lakeside. And Warwick Farm, there are a few in there. That didn't figure in our previous one, but it does figure in their very last start. Either way, it does show backing our top 2 win-form horses and Victorian Metropolitan area that last had their qualifying runs or last start runs at a Victorian or New South Wales Metropolitan meeting is a good strategy for us. I hope that helps you in learning stuff. We'll put another analysis on at another time over the holidays. Thanks for watching.